We are joined by Hoban head coach Tim Tyrrell, and his Knights are going for a Division II state championship this weekend. They will meet with Massillon, and Coach, that's the first thing I think of when I hear that you're playing for a state title. I think of Massillon right away because we've gotten so familiar with this matchup. No surprise, here we go again. I mean, you guys are going to play a very familiar opponent. Just your thoughts when you knew that this was going to be the matchup again.
It's just like normal. We're two local teams from Northeast Ohio, so coaching staffs know each other. The players know each other. They, some of the kids even work out with each other and do one-on-ones, do that type of stuff in the off season. So it's familiar. It's turning into a good little rivalry. There's a lot of respect between both staffs and both teams. So we're familiar with a lot of their players. It's one of those good games. There's no, mean-heartedness on either side.
When it comes to familiarity, how much can you take from previous matchups? Because some of the names have changed. Some of the positions have changed for you guys. I mean, can you take much from previous matchups or not really?
Yeah, because it's still the same style. Coach Moore and his staff are great coaches, and they've been in this situation now 3 years in a row. So, it's a lot you could just read, different types of things that the coaches like to do. So it's a situation where you could watch a lot of the film from in the past also and kind of see concepts. So, and they're doing the same thing with us. You change a little bit with your personnel, but it's still the same coaching staffs.
Coach, I know at the beginning of the season, I mean, just given the kids you had coming back and how much talent you have on football, was this the goal? Is this where you really thought you guys would be, having an opportunity to go for another state title?
Yeah, I think always when we set ourselves up at the beginning of the year, we always want to have this goal. I think the program is at that point. Really the last 6 years that's the goal every year going in, is to be playing in this game, and kind of to be known throughout the state and throughout the Midwest. So that's the goal every year. Now, does it happen every year? No, but we're doing pretty good on getting there. At least 5 out of the last 6. So hopefully continues to keep going.
What have you made of the journey this year for your team? I mean, we go back to the summer. We didn't even know if there would be a season. You guys are going to have a season. Just what have you made for just of the entire year in and of itself from your kids?
Oh, wow. It's been crazy. It's more about the kids that we've been around for a long time now. Because this senior class, there was 6 of them that played as freshmen. On that, way back in 2017 team. So they know how to handle adversity really well. And the whole world is going through adversity right now. So those guys have really kept us on track. And it's been tough, though. I was one of the first coaches thinking it'll be a miracle just to get through September. And look where we're at now. I think the OHSAA did a great job, really, of setting us up for this. And the things they did to get us to this point really have helped. So it's just one of those things that, knock on wood, that no other class has to ever go through this again. But it's been crazy from day one.
Coach, I know last time I remember when we talked about your offense. I want to give your defense some love here. I mean, you guys, I was watching you guys, your game the other week against Avon. I mean, just fly to the football. I remember talking to Jeff Goff, the head coach of Hudson, and he told me he was having a hard time seeing you guys give up first downs, let alone points. I mean, how proud are you of those guys on the defense?
Oh, they do a great job. By the way, Coach Goff had a pretty good offense too, so he did a great job. But the kids do a great job. They really run around. They bought into a system that we run. Coach, Renzi Parnell is my D coordinator, and he does an unbelievable job, especially with adjustments throughout games. I think that's been our key point the last 2 weeks. But yeah, the kids really run around. They love to hit. To play on our defense is an honor. We decide early, in 2 days where we're putting kids, and if you're some of our best football players and can run, you play on defense first. So that's just kind of our style, how we have it Hoban. So it's worked over the years, and depending on how they close out, you never know. This could be one of the better ones we've ever had.
And Coach, what do you make of Massillon? Here they are again, going for another state title. The program is obviously unbelievable, but just why do you think ultimately they were able to get back to where they are? What have you seen on film? What do they do well?
They do a lot of the same things. They believe in consistency, and they believe in a process, and that process starts. I've got to know Coach Moore over this last season. We actually did a little trip together out to the Nike corporation out there on the West Coast. So they believe in the same things we do. It starts in an off season. It starts with the team, the family, and building that, and then going through the process of how to handle adversity and everything else. And they're just they're consistent. They do what they do. They have great players, obviously, which every good team has. So they're just the model of consistency since he's been there.
Coach, knowing that the success that you've had and the goals that you have, there's probably things that you could still pick apart about your team. But give us something that you're really proud of what these kids have been able to do.
Their ability just to fight, and really never really get down, even when teams either go up on us or the game's close and the times get tough. These kids have really done their best when their back's against the wall, and teams are giving us a fight and doing some things against us that maybe we weren't prepared for, whatever it is. Game adjustments have been great, and just being able to handle adversity throughout the season and inside of a game has been awesome to watch.
And Coach, last thing, keys to a win. How do you guys make sure you take home a state title on this weekend?
Well, you're playing against a team like Massillon. You can't give up the real big play. That sounds too cliche, but it's the big plays and not turning the football over. We did that last year and we lost against them. And the year before, they turned the ball over and we won. It's not rocket science when you get to the championship, or you play against good teams like we have the last 2 weeks with Avon and Hudson. It's just about making the least amount of mistakes, not giving up that big play, and not turning the ball over.
Coach, listen, really appreciate the time. Good luck this weekend, and maybe we'll talk to you again right after the state title game.
Thanks for having me.